in that position, which is why I always tend to say it's never the what, it's always the how. And when it comes down to business and the Amexem-Moor-Empire jurisdiction and venue, when I wrote what became the Amexem-Empire Constitution as ratified by the Imperial Council, I took into account particular things to make sure that we would be business friendly. Not to a point where business can be abusive towards those that do trade for them, quote unquote work for them. I'm talking about friendly regarding our system of tax in this jurisdiction and venue. We have a 20% flat tax on business inside this jurisdiction and venue. So other venues and jurisdictions that have a flat tax tend to have what's referred to as a value-added tax on top of their flat tax. We don't have a value-added tax within the Amexem-Moor-Empire jurisdiction and venue. You simply have the flat tax. And we don't have a whole lot of things that you can write off and things of this nature. It's just simply whatever your monthly expenditures are, 40% of that number you get to write off, and you deduct that number from your gross receipts for the month. And whatever that number is, when you do that computation, well, that would be taxable. So 20% of that number is what you're paying in taxes. So it's real simplified. We don't have, at the moment, we don't have any duties or any levies or anything of that nature. We have no excise taxes and no tariffs at this point. We do have one imperial trade tax as imposed by the Department for the Customs. And that's only on biodiesel fuel. And that's not on a per gallon basis. That's on the 55-gallon drum or barrel basis. So if you're buying it by, well, you know how this works. If you're buying it by the barrel, there's an imperial trade tax on it. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So anyone that moves to establish a business that goes to the hostiles to establish their business is empowering the hostiles to their detriment, which makes no sense to me. And the way we have put things together within the Amexem-Moor-Empire jurisdiction and venue, anyone of dark hue, especially someone that refers to himself as a Moor, would be foolish. It would be stupid for them to establish a business in a non-Moor-centric or non-Moor jurisdiction and venue. I don't know of any other particular house of the Moors that is established to the point that we are to be able to make available where parties can establish a business that's unencumbered by the hostiles, where the hostiles not brought into the equation at all. So that is a very good advantage that we make available to folks. Plus, in our jurisdiction and venue, Amexem-Empire nationals, as I know you all are pleased about this part, you don't have a graduated income tax. So basically, 2 ounces of silver a month, monthly installment, or 2 ounces of silver constitutional donation, depending on what you're doing. 2 ounces of silver per national, 20 years and more, is effectively what we collect. So if you're making 2 million ounces of silver a month, you're only required to put up 2 ounces of silver for the month. If you make 2 million ounces of silver for the year, or earn that into your possession, 24 ounces of silver a year is what you're putting in the imperial treasury. So again, I don't see why folks insist on empowering the hostiles to their detriment when this jurisdiction and venue by and for the Moors is operational underway on multiple continents. We're giving our folks options, not only for business, we're giving our folks options to enhance their lives in a great many ways and improve the quality of life and save lives. So the biggest thing that folks have to unlearn is that you don't have to bring the hostiles into the equation for anything. They're not required for anything. We have the talent and skill to do all that we need to do to feed, clothe, and shelter ourselves as a national collection of souls on our own terms. Our folks have gone to many schools. Our folks have served in various services, and as a consequence, they have various experiences that they learned, in some cases, from the hostiles. They didn't unlearn that information when they came into the Amexem-Moor-Empire. So, as a national of this particular house of Moors, we are strongly enhanced. And because of our training regimen and everything that we all do as family, we just get more and more cohesive by the day, and we make a very, very strong platform for business. And because, again, being operational on more than one side of the ocean, even though our growth at the moment is incongruent, to be honest about it. The fact of the matter remains that we have infrastructure in place sufficient for business to flow on both sides of the ocean. So your market is not limited to a particular continent. Our market is global. And that gives us a very excellent advantage, and folks should take advantage of it.